Alright, I think I'm gonna do the review like this. Welcome everybody back to my channel. So today I have a special video for you guys. I have a review for you guys. By the way, just want to say welcome to spooky season. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna be reading a lot, and I mean a lot, of spooky books this month. So before we can begin, make sure to like and subscribe because that's very important. You know this, I know this. Come on now. Make sure to comment, by the way. Let me know what spooky book you're planning on reading on this beautiful month. So without further ado, today we're going to be reviewing another self-published book. And it's Antibody by Chris Williams. So Antibody is, on paper, is a pandemic horror book. You're probably thinking, aren't we currently in a pandemic? Is this the right time for this? Yes, this book has nothing, and I mean nothing, to do with the current pandemic that we're going through right now. It's fresh in our minds and it's like right in front of us. So of course you're gonna want to associate it with that, but it's not that. George Eliot once said, "Do not judge a book by its cover." Honestly, this book was not what I was expecting, but it was just what I needed because your boy was in a reading slump and I was struggling to get out of it. So I was trying to figure out what to do because I'm a booktuber. If I can't be reviewing books, talking about books, or anything of the above, what am I supposed to do with my life? Go to school and be like a doctor or something? Ew, what the fuck? I want to talk to you guys about the book, obviously. That's why we're here. So this story is about a pharmaceutical company who's manufacturing a vaccine to cure this virus that's killing people. They gathered a bunch of individuals, took them to this castle in Romania, and start testing on them. Everything is shrouded in rose-colored glasses, so to them, they're in this bubble where everything seems perfect. They don't realize that they're really part of something bigger. You definitely read the prologue. It set the tone early on for this story where you can see how serious, how deadly this virus is and how people die in such a gruesome way. So this story follows 3 POVs, well, technically 4. One is a bad guy and the other 3 are our main characters. So we first meet our female POV, which is Alice. She's a very resilient character and she can hold her own. She's very aware of her surroundings, which is something that you expect from a final girl. So our next POV is Darren, and when we first meet him, he's like, you know how all of us are, like, who believe in conspiracy theories. He gets himself into a bad situation, and that's how he is forced to sign up for this program. He's gay, by the way, so that's another point that I need to address. There's LGBT representation in this book, so if that's something you're looking forward to, you can expect that from this book. It's done in a manner that is not tokenism. Our last POV is Spence, who is your typical jock, pretty boy who goes to an Ivy League school, has so many layers. Even though he has this great life, he is actually under so much pressure, and the character kind of grows on you as the story progresses. I want to tell you guys why this story works. This story works because it's such an escapist story. I was stuck in a reading slump, so when I started reading this, the first couple of chapters took me a minute. I feel like the pacing was appropriate for the beginning of the story, even though it's not the pacing I would have liked. It worked because it gave us a chance to get to know the characters a little better. Like, I cried. Sorry, let me correct myself. I shed a tear, just one tear, when one of the characters that I quite enjoyed gets murdered. But let's just say this character went down as a hero too soon. And that's how you know a story worked, where you start to get attached to characters, and then when something happens to them, you feel for them. That's great fucking writing. It's so calm, and all of a sudden it catches you by surprise. Let's just say that the story starts off as like on steady waters, and then like Titanic, shit hits the fan like crazy on the second half. Influences in the story are so there. The best way I can describe this was that this story was a mixture of the movies Hostel, The Cabin in the Woods. Remember that? The Fire Festival, where it's like they were promised all these things, but in reality it was like not it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to spoil anything. One thing though that was a little bit tricky, just slightly tricky, towards the middle, it kind of lost me for like a minute, maybe just like one chapter. But then when we moved on to the next chapter, everything started to piece back together. That was the only issue I had with the story. The middle section kind of felt a little bit off to me. Just remember to have an open mind, go into the story, and remember that this is a story. It's fictional. It has nothing to do with what we're currently doing right now, which is why this literally got me out of reading slump. Last night I read 2 other books. I mean, they're graphic novels, but like, you get what I mean. I want to let you guys know that it was a great read. You gotta pick it up. It's a must for spooky season. So I gave this book a 4.5 stars. So I recommend you guys checking out Antibody by Chris Williams. You will enjoy it if you appreciate strong female lead, LGBT representation, a bit of humor here and there. Oh, if you want to shed a tear, I definitely recommend reading this. You'll get attached to some of these characters. It is only 353 pages, so it's, let's say, a couple of days. We'll give you a couple of days if you're not about that life. Definitely worth checking out. Make sure to pick it up. Antibody, Chris Williams. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Let me know down below what books you guys are picking up during spooky season. That's it for this one, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.